had too big a lead, and the Vikings fall to 0-9 on the year, and still looking for victory number 1. Scoring totals went this way: Deweese 2 for Kingman, 1 for Blank, 5 for Kelly, 7 for Garrison, and then in double figures, 11 Bradshaw, 12 Bangert Sidney, and 17 for Bailey Bangert. For the Vikings, 2 Franklin, 2 Clark, 2 Hulse, 2 Carrington Haxton, 4 Amanda Mahana, 4 Kira Haxton, 5 Haven Shugren, and 10 points for Jordan Otto. This is the Bank of Tesket post-game show, Generations of Confidence, Relationships for Life, member FDIC. Time now for the Salina Ortho Player of the Game. Salina Ortho is a proud sponsor of Player of the Game, and our Player of the Game will be Jordan Otto for her 10 points tonight in a losing cause, and that will wrap up our girls' game. Boys' game is next. We'll take this 1-minute timeout. We come back. We'll start Smoky Valley Boys pregame. You're listening to Smoky Valley Basketball.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
Direct Access Physical Therapy is available at Lindsborg Community Hospital. Direct Access means you can schedule an appointment for PT without a doctor's order. Sports rehab, post-joint replacement, back pain. Schedule an appointment for evaluation and treatment. Mark, Robin, Nikki, and Derek will get you on your way to better health and activity. Call 785-227-3308 and ask for physical therapy at Lindsborg Community Hospital.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins, 785-472-4426 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym. This is the Anthony Hopkins State Farm Insurance pregame show. Your local State Farm Insurance agent, Anthony Hopkins, is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley Vikings and your sponsor of the Vikings pregame show. Well, the Vikings come in with a victory over Nickerson by the score of 65-60. They've won every home game that they've played this year, but have been winless on the road. They're looking forward to finishing out this portion of the season before they go to the Sterling Invitational. But they're going to have to play well tonight. Kingman is a pretty good team.
Yeah, they're going to have to play well, and it all starts with the fundamentals. I think we see that night in and night out. Typically at home, you're solid, you get a little energy, and the band tonight isn't going to hurt either.
Last year, they hung on for a victory. They were kind of comfortably ahead, as you'll hear Coach Doug Snyder say. They were kind of comfortably ahead before they started seeing Kingman come back. They have the ability to score if they keep shooting, and they started hitting some of their three-pointers, and they ended up making it a 54-52 victory, but not before Kingman made it interesting and actually had a shot to win the game at the end of regulation down in Kingman a year ago. But man, that band is loud. We'll take our first time out. We'll come back. We'll have an interview with Coach Doug Snyder, plus we'll talk a little bit about some stats. You're listening to Smoky Valley Basketball, back right after this 1-minute timeout.
Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas invites you to visit their website at odcnck.com. Once there, you can look over the products that Overhead Door offers for commercial and residential installation and repair. Overhead Door Company services all of North Central Kansas.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from across the country have in common? They all purchase custom-etched glassware at glassdecorators.com. EmsloyGlassDecorators.com have been providing carefully etched glass for nearly 30 years. An effective tool for company branding, etched glasses are also perfect for school and civic groups, special occasions, and that one-of-a-kind gift they won't find anywhere else. Emsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley Athletics since 1984.
Ace your next harvest with A-Series beans from Phelps Seed, your hometown Pioneer seed specialist, providing Pioneer wheat, corn, soybean, sunflower, and milo seed, along with the crop protection chemicals you need. Grow with the winner. Phelps Seed, with you from the word go.
Bethany College Swedes succeed. Bethany students lead lives of faith, learning, and service as they find their own pathways on Bethany's beautiful campus that's filled with opportunities to get involved with art, music, theater, athletics, service learning, sustainability, leadership, global citizenship, and more. Swedes succeed in their careers and their communities. Learn more at www.bethanylb.edu.
And welcome back to more Viking pregame. Don Binks along with Coach Doug Snyder. As you get another home game, that's a good thing. You didn't get a practice yesterday. That's a bad thing. So after the victory against Nickerson, how are we doing?
Well, as far as practice is concerned, it's probably who you talk to. I'm sure the guys didn't mind having a day off, but we weren't able to get our scout in quite the way we wanted to based on what we did Wednesday night into Thursday. But, you know, I felt like coming out of the Nickerson game, I felt like we came out with a little bit of confidence. I thought, watching back on the film over Nickerson, they played extremely well. Their kids shot lights out. I mean, I think they shot near 50% from the two-point line and over 50% from three and about 80% from the free throw line. And when you look at our stats as far as what we shot compared to what they shot, you'd think we'd lost because we didn't shoot nearly as well as they did. I think we just made some of the in-between plays in that stretch there in the third and another stretch in the fourth. We really played some of the best defense I've seen us play this year, and that's going to have to be something that we kind of lean on the rest of the way through, playing with more energy, playing with more excitement, playing with a little bit more gusto as we play. And I think our offense fed off of that. Once we got to going, I think the rest of it kind of clicked after that. And that's what we talked about Wednesday when we watched film. So I'm hoping that, you know, the day off, we'll have some fresh legs, and hopefully that'll end up being more of a blessing than a curse.
You had a close game with them last year, comfortably ahead, and then they had a big rally in the fourth quarter, but you won, and it was at their place, but now you have them in here, and what do you know about the Kingman Eagles?
You know, they're a team that record-wise, they're 3-5. I think I said 3-5. They play extremely hard. Coach Lawson has always gotten them to play hard ever since he's gotten there, and they haven't always had the shooting or scoring talent, but they have the ability to put up points in bunches, and they've showed this year that sometimes they can't score. So, you know, they scored 13 points once this year against Heston, and otherwise they've scored some 40s and 50s, and, you know, they just really get out and try to defend the passing lanes hard. They have a couple of nice shooters in Flanagan and I'm trying to remember the kid's name now.
Albright.
Number 10, Albright. Yeah, Albright, another nice scorer for them. And we've seen those guys for a couple of years. They've been playing, at least Albright, since he was a sophomore. And, you know, they do a nice job. They try to pick and roll a lot and get to the rim hard. It always seems like everybody's quick that we play against. And I don't necessarily think we're slow. It just feels like everybody's just a little bit quicker than we are when I watch them on film. So, you know, they're gonna present us some challenges. But again, I think there's some things we present challenges with them. The biggest thing I think is to get on top of them and try to hold them off. And like we've talked about before, even though I like the outcome of the 5 of our games, I'd really like to lead at the half sometime. I'd like to start that game a little bit quicker and maybe get things going. And hopefully maybe that'll be the thing we can do tonight.
You had a good game from Jacob and Ben. Ben especially, I think he was our player of the game last week, and he seemed to be getting some inside posts and rebounding from those two guys.
Yeah, I think Ben ended the night with 16 points and 5 or 6 boards, and Jacob ended with 14 or 15 points and 11 boards. And, you know, if we can get that kind of input, you know, from these two guys into our offense, that, you know, anytime you get inside scoring, that opens up your outside scoring. That enables Nick to be able to do more of what Nick does. And I think he dropped 22 last game. And so, you know, if we can get 3 guys scoring double figures, I feel pretty good about what we can do. But like I said, it starts by getting those guys the ball in position, and it starts even before that by those guys getting position because our guys want to get them the ball. They want to score inside. We want to try to find ways to get what I guess you'd call easy buckets buckets close to the rim, so that we don't have to create as much on the outside. And Nickerson allowed us to post up a little bit deeper than maybe other teams will. I'm hoping that we can do some more of that tonight, but it was so nice to see the two of them looking for each other the other night. I know Jacob had a dump to Ben one time, and I think Ben reciprocated that with a pass down low to him, and I think Nick even snuck down there on the baseline one time, and Jacob delivered one to him. So, that's the thing, is finding ways to get guys involved and making that extra pass that gives us an easy bucket. And so far, we were able to do that last game.
And still no Brett tonight.
No Brett tonight yet. Still trying to work on getting him healthy again, and no real new news for that one. We've just kind of been resting him and letting him be. And like I said, taking the day off yesterday. Hopefully that'll help a little bit too. And we'll just kind of play it day by day and week by week. Hopefully more days by days than weeks by weeks. But again, we wish him the best, and we just want him to get healthy and get to feeling better. And hopefully we can get him back sometime yet this season.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Doug Snyder of the Vikings will have more pregame right after this.
Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
If the cold and flu season is leaving you feeling too sick to wait until Monday, but not sick enough for the emergency room, remember Lindsborg Community Hospital's Weekend Urgent Care Clinic. Available on weekends from noon until 6 p.m., you'll receive expert care from people you know and trust. Just enter through the main entrance at Lindsborg Community Hospital, located at 605 West Lincoln. Urgent care won't take the place of your regular family doctor, but will provide the help you need when the doctor's office is closed. Go online to lindsborghospital.org for more information about urgent care from Lindsborg Community Hospital.
Boyd Accounting provides professional accounting services in the Lindsborg area. Call them today at 227-2589 for all your accounting needs. Wishing the best of luck to the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym. The Vikings are led in scoring by Nick Reinert at 17.4 points per game. Brett Heitschmidt out again, trying to get that Achilles healed up. Next in line is Jacob Adams at 10.8. Ben Weldy, after having a good game, is up to 8.9 points per game. And then it drops off there after that. The Vikings only averaging 45.3 points per game, so they've got to look for some other scoring opportunities. Lane Schrog chips in. Cole Brumbaugh chips in a little bit, but all around 2 or just over 2 points per game. So they've got to chip in a little bit. Zach Abel at 2.8 points per game. So they've got to find some ways to score more points, and that is obviously you can't win ball games if you don't score points.
No, you got to be able to put some points on the board to outscore the other team is the objective. So I would say look for some ball movement and some rebounding. If you start with those two and take advantage of those two, you'll like where you give yourself a chance towards the end of the ball game in the fourth quarter.
We don't have scoring totals for them, but their last game against Hoisington, Flanagan had 18 points, Albright had 14, 6 for Bueller, and Molitor with 3, and Oding with 3. So that's a little bit about their scoring ability. So we know they can score some points, but their record coming in is 3-5, and Smoky Valley is 5-3. We'll take it away for a timeout, a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups.
Performed by the Smoky Valley Pep Band and alumni under the direction of Mr. Adam Keller. For the Kingman Eagles, number 2, a junior, Dakota Hansard. For the Vikings, number 3, a senior, Nick Reiner. For the Eagles, number 5, a senior, Carter Odie. For the Vikings, number 5, a senior, Zach Abel.
Well, we don't have exactly the right starters, as Coach Doug Snyder gave me what he thought was going to be the starters for the Kingman Eagles. But they're going to go with Dakota Hansard. He's a junior, 5'9". He wears number 2. Carter Oding, he's a senior. He's 6'4". He wears number 5. Tanner Albright, he's a junior. He's 5'11". He wears number 10. Number 31, Logan Bueller, he's a junior. He's 6 foot tall. And John Molitor, he's a junior. He's 6 foot. He wears number 32. For Coach Lawson, it'll be Molitor, Bueller, Albright, Oding, and Hansard. And for the Vikings, they'll start with Nick Reinert. He's a senior, 6 foot. He wears number 3. Zach Abel, he's a senior. He's 6'1". He wears number 5. Blake Hebel, he's a junior. He's 6 foot. He wears number 23. Jacob Adams, he's a senior. He's 6'4". He wears number 24. And Ben Weldy, he's a senior. He's 6'4", and he wears number 42. So for the Vikings, Coach Schneider, assisted by Meyer and Walter, he will send out Weldy, Adams, Hebel, Reinert, and Abel. And the Vikings, well, they need to score points and take care of business tonight, so we hope that they will. Got a few finals for you. I'll read off real quickly here. Beloit beats Minneapolis 47-37. Central and Mays. Central on top 32-26 after 3 quarters. A girls final from Berean Academy. Berean Academy 54. El Saline just 15 points. So a few of the finals from some of our Rocking M radio stations. It'll be Oding jumping against Ben Weldy as we're ready to start the game and enjoy tonight's ball game. Hopefully the Vikings can remain undefeated here at home and take care of business. They're trapping Hebel as he gets the ball from Reinert. Here's Jacob Adams at the free throw line off the Weldy. 10-footer, good. Ben Weldy scores on the first basket, and the Vikings take an early 2-0 lead. My highlights in my book here. And we got a whistle and a foul on the baseline. Blocks. It's going to be Jacob Adams on the foul.
Blake Hebel, that's his first, team first.
Oh, Blake Hebel. Well, they thought he had a 3 and he had a 4 the other way around. Inside it goes. Double team. Shot off and good by Oding. 2-2 our score. Each team scoring on their first possession. Reiner gets double teamed out of the trap and gets it off to Adams. Wow, they are playing aggressive. Reiner looking for Weldy, has him on the side of the blocks, inside of the lane. It's good. Weldy with back-to-back buckets. Vikings 4-2 Kingman. With the ball on the dribble is Albright. Didn't highlight the rest of them. Tanner Albright with it. Hansard. Here's a shot. Oding missing. Here comes the Vikings quickly the other way. Reinert off to Abel. Three-pointer baseline. Good! Arn Reinert, CPA, three-pointer by Zach Abel. Might be his first three-pointer of the year. Around it goes to Albright. Baseline, around, baseline pass all the way across. Hansard with it, fake, and then a shot. Good. Hansard answers Abel's three with a 3 of his own. 7-5. A lot of quick scoring here early at Smoky Valley Gym. You heard Coach Snyder in his pregame interview. The Vikings have yet to be in the lead at halftime of any of their games. Here's Reinert. Off it goes to Hebel. Hebel drive. Kick out to Abel. Abel inside to Jacob Adams. Baseline, Weldy. Shot. Good. Three-pointer by Ben Weldy. And Arn Reinert, CPA, three-pointer. So back-to-back threes by the Vikings. Give them a 10-5 lead at the 5:40 mark here of the first quarter.
Just the start you wanted if you're the Vikings.
Oh, absolutely. And And there's a turnover. Vikings get is that the first turnover, I believe, of either team?
Yep.
Here's Abel, baseline blocks, kick out to Weldy, and then another three. That one's going to be off and over the top of the backboard, out of bounds. And Kingman gets the ball. Putting it in play will be Bueller to Albright. Get these names down here quickly. It was off to such a quick start. Vikings on a little 1-3-1 trapping zone. Hansard with it, and a kick by Abel. And now coming in is the one I thought was going to start, Flanagan. He's the one that had 18 points the other night against Hoisington. So surprised to see him not starting. Bueller back in. Gets it off to Albright. They'll reset their offense. Bueller and Albright. Cross court. It goes to Flanagan. Outside the Vikings, 1-3-1. Dribble penetration. Kick off to Odin. Around it goes. Bueller, three. Good. Bueller answers with a three. 3 to 3 to 3 to 3. 4 threes, 2 for each team. And it's a 2-point ball game, 10-8. Reinert on the dribble out top. Inside to Jacob Adams on the blocks. Over to Ben Weldy. Another Ben Weldy point. He's being in the right spot at the right time.
He sure has. The Vikings are doing a real nice job of spreading the ball around, looking for their teammates in the open shot.
12-8, Vikings lead. Around it goes to Bueller. Back to Flanagan. Flanagan on the dribble. Over it goes to Albright. Back to Flanagan. Flanagan on the dribble outside the Vikings. More of a 2-3 zone this trip down. Kickoff, bounce pass, knocked away, but Kingman hangs on to it. Odin, round to Flanagan, baseline Bueller. Bueller drive, knocked away by Adams, but he can't save it. And it'll stay with Kingman. Schrag and Winholtz in for the Vikings. Abel and Weldy out. 4:04 remaining in the first quarter. 12-8, Vikings with the lead. Kingman with the basketball. Albright three, baseline corner, no. Rebound loose, picked up by hustling Kingman Bueller. Baseline shot, good. And a timeout quickly. It's a 30. We'll keep it right here. Thanking Harry Malary, Viking Auto, R&R Excavating, Scott's. Contact Mari Loader for your Smoky Valley real estate needs. Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic, Gallant Tire and Auto. Lindsberg Family Dental, Dower Welding, CNL Heating and Cooling, Arnreinert CPA, Art Shirt, Bank of Tescott, and People's Bank and Trust. Vikings right away playing in the Sterling Invitational Tournament on Monday. They have a hookup with Southeast of Saline at 7:30 on Monday. And then they play the winner or loser of, on the back of my program here, winner or loser of Sterling and Lions on Tuesday if they lose, Thursday if they win. So hopefully they'll be able to take care of business in that game. But here they got to take care of business tonight. 10-12. The Vikings with the 2-point lead. Winholtz and Schrag and Reinert, the three guards, inside to Jacob Adams. Baseline Winholtz. Back to Reinert. Three-pointer, Nick. Good! Arn Reinert, CPA three-pointer by Nick Reinert. The third three of the game for the Vikings. They're up 15-10 with 3:30 to go, first quarter. On the dribble, Bueller. Turn around, keeping on his dribble. Off it goes to Odin. Odin over to Flanagan. Back to Bueller. It's a screen from Odin. Bueller still with the basketball. Gets it off to Albright. Near side to Odin. Good Viking defense. And knocked away. Carson Winholtz pleading to get the call, but I think it's the right call. It'll stay with Kingman. 3:04 remaining first quarter. Somebody's got to throw it in. Flanagan finally coming over to throw the ball in. The referee won't throw it in for him. They get it into Albright to reset. Vikings go man-to-man on this possession. Flanagan gets a screen from Odin. Flanagan still on the drive. Good defense, Carson Winholtz. Around it goes to Albright. Blake Hebel on the defense. Albright kick it off. Around it goes Flanagan. Pass inside Odin. Now to Bueller. Bueller floater. No. Rebound. Crashing off somebody's forehead. And the Vikings finally come up with a miss. Get the defensive rebound. Reinert quickly up into the front court driving, kicking off to Hebel. Hebel, and we're going to have an offensive foul on the Vikings. See who they call. Too many bodies to see. And that's going to be Blake Hebel's second foul. Weldy and Abel back in. Adams and Reinert out. Winholtz and Schrog, Hebel, Abel. And there's they can't get the steal. They had a steal, but they couldn't hang on to it. And missing underneath, but to come away with the rebound, Flanagan. Tipped out by Odin. There's a steal by Hebel, but he can't control it. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Kingman. 2:15 left to go, first quarter. Neither team has scored now since the 3:30 mark. Flanagan on the dribble. Vikings go back man-to-man. They're switching defenses every possession, it looks like. Schrog tips it away. Bueller ends up with it, but he's still in the backcourt. Gets it off to Albright. They'll reset the offense as Albright brings it into the front court. Still on the dribble. Gets it off to Bueller. It is a physical game out there in this men's action. Flanagan against Winholtz on the wing. Top of the key, Albright, three. Good. Good-looking shot by Tanner Albright. Another Arn Reinert CPA three-pointer. Each team has 3 3-pointers. Vikings lead by 2, 15-13, with 1:30 left to go here in the first quarter. Carson Winholtz gets a screen from Hebel. Off it goes to Ben Weldy. Ben with it off to Abel. Give and go. Abel with the drive, and Abel crashes into Bueller, and he picks up the charging call on Abel. Third Viking foul. No fouls yet on Kingman. That'll change. They're playing such aggressive defense on the Vikings. They'll pick up a few fouls here.
Most definitely.
There's just over the hands of Hebel. Thought he had a steal. Albright on the dribble. Penetration, spin, pass, Odin. Shot too strong. Rebound Vikings. Lane Schrog comes away with it. On the dribble. Up to Weldy. Weldy three-pointer. No. And a rebounding foul on Carson Winholtz. That'll be his first.
Both teams are playing fast tonight. It's fun to see.
Oh, it's a great entertaining game. A little hard on the play-by-play guy to keep up, but that's okay. Vikings have a 2-point lead. Under a minute left to go, first quarter. Bueller, Albright, and Flanagan. And Flanagan loses the handle. I believe that's the second turnover on Kingman. I don't have the Vikings for a turnover yet.
I don't either.
But they're hanging onto the ball well.
Is a charging foul a turnover?
Well, in some books it is, but when you get a foul, I call it a foul. I don't call it a turnover, but that would be a turnover. Lane Schrog on the dribble out top, guarded by somebody came in. Abel, and there's a turnover. We just talk about it, and they come away with a turnover. That's Molitor, John Molitor, number 32. Had him in there earlier. Flanagan, almost a steal by Reiner. Albright has it. There's Carson Winholtz. He has the ball picked away, and there's another steal. Bodies flying everywhere.
Well, I like the hustle on both sides.
Oh, my goodness.
Vikings diving after it, getting lots of deflections. That one just happened to hit off of somebody's shin and took off in a hurry to the out-of-bounds line.
Just 6 seconds left to go here. Albright on the dribble drive. Floater in the lane to tie it up at 15-15. Albright with his 5th point. And the quarter number 1 doesn't decide anyway. It's 15-15. We'll be back for quarter number 2 right after this.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Smoky Valley Gym. Nothing's been decided. We've still got a lot of girls finals going on. Abilene and Clay Center, 52-52 going to overtime. So that one is not a final yet. Here, game number one with running clock in the fourth quarter, and Kingman girls came away with a 57-31 victory over Smoky Valley. Here it was a fast start, but it ends up being 15-15 after one. Vikings have one turnover. Kingman has two, so well played. And well played on the scoreboard. Molitor with it, off to Albright. They get the first, Kingman gets the first possession of the second quarter. Albright, Reinert close to him. They're playing man-to-man. Near side to Bueller, around to Albright. Albright on the dribble, guarded by Reinert. Gets it over to Flanagan. Flanagan picked up on the switch by Weldy, and then they switch back to Albright. His dribble. Oh, there was a travel. I believe he shifted his feet when he picked it up, but nothing called. Bueller now on the dribble drive into the lane. Kick out to Albright. Albright hit a three from there, but chose not to shoot that one. Reinert right in his hip pocket. Good defense for the Vikings. 50 seconds on this possession, and Kingman hasn't even looked at the basket yet. Albright on the dribble. Good switching defense by the Vikings. There's Albright again, just past the free throw line. Oh, and it's a bank. Albright hit the last shot of the quarter and hit the first shot of the second quarter after a minute worth of defense. And you know he didn't pass it or he shoot it the way he wanted to. Boy, they're letting him play. That should be a traveling, and they get a turnover. As alternating possession, it goes back to the Vikings. They are letting them play tonight, Brian.
They are letting them play. It's kind of fun to see some aggressive teams playing some aggressive basketball and see what it plays out to be.
Reinert just got mugged there at the half-court circles. He got double-teamed, but they were letting them slap away and hack away. I said they'd be getting a few fouls called, but they have not got one yet. There probably should have been one there. Here's Reinert on the dribble. Inside to Weldy. Weldy triple teamed, shot missing, gets a rebound. And Flanagan, though, takes it away from him. Flanagan, oh, where's the traveling? There's Oding with it. Oding loses the handle. Zach Abel goes crashing into the bleachers. Here's Albright. Flanagan. Albright outside the Vikings 2-3 zone. Around it goes to Flanagan. Kingman with a 2-point lead here at the moment. Albright. Thin move, and we're going to have a bump. Of all the collisions and all the contact, that's the cheapest foul that we've had so far. The Vikings have 5 fouls now. Kingman with none. Inside it goes to Molitor, blocked by Ben Weldy, then stolen back by Molitor. Bueller, and he'll be fouled by Weldy. And Bueller will have 2 free throws. Man! Bueller at the free throw line, shooting 2. And first free throw good. Kingman with an 18-15 lead. Number 21, first time in the ball game for Peyton. Is it Pierce or Price?
No, I don't know. While I'm sitting here, though, I want to get a shout-out to Chris Allen traveling down the highway, him and Asher, giving you a shout-out.
And he makes them both. It's a 4-0 run, 6-0 run between the quarters for the Kingman Eagles. Reinert on the dribble, guarded by Flanagan. Inside to Adams. Now over the top goes Oding. You know they're going to catch up with him pretty soon. They get the less fouls that get called, the more aggressive they get, and more aggressive they get, and they'll pay the price for being aggressive here for the next few minutes. Reinert gets it in from Abel. Vikings down by 4 now here in the early part of the second quarter. Man-to-man defense by the Kingman Eagles. Off it goes to Hebel. Looking for Weldy. Back to Abel. Top between the circles. Looking for Adams. Side of the lane. Now off to Reinert. Reinert. Dribble drive. Reinert in the lane. No. Rebound Oding inside. And Oding with the dribble out of the double team. Gets it off to Bueller. Here comes Kingman leading by 4 at the 5:08 mark. Albright on the dribble drive. Pick up, kick out to Flanagan. Around it goes to Bueller. Bueller on the dribble into the lane. Bueller with his head down, driving, missing. Rebound, Blake Hebel. Here come the Vikings. Reinert looking for somewhere to go with it. To Adams. Good. Nice pass.
I was just going to say the Vikings need to look for a high percentage shot here to get the lid off that basket. And boy, was that ever so ready right there.
Boy, it was perfect. He landed. I thought he might have been too far under the basket, but he just jumped and got it to go. First points of the quarter for the Vikings at the 4.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Kingman on top, 19-17. Guess what? That was the year my mother was born. She's 100 years old right now.
Still can't believe it.
Yeah. Off it goes to Bueller, around to Flanagan. Flanagan drive in the lane. Flanagan shot good. His first basket. He had 18 the other night against Hoisington. His first basket of the ballgame. 21-17. Kingman up by 4. Reinert on the dribble, gets a screen from Adams. Gets double teamed way out top. Off it goes to Adams. Drive. Hebel. Shot. Good. There is contact all over the place. 21-19. Vikings trail by 2. Off it goes to Bueller from Albright. Oding screening for Bueller, but then goes around to Flanagan. Back to Albright. Give and go to Price. Price in the middle of the lane. Price has it knocked away. No, he gets a pass off to Oding. And Oding gets his second basket. 23-19. Both teams just trading baskets now as it goes from a 2 to a 4-point lead. Reinert to Adams right outside the free throw line. Off to Reinert. Looked at a 3 instead. Driving into the lane. Off to Ben Weldy. Ben in the lane. Shot up. Good. Ben Weldy has 11. First player in double figures.
Vikings doing a nice job of getting it down low in the paint to the big guys all of a sudden.
Well, they've got some size and strength inside. Kingman big guys are pretty skinny and tall. The Vikings outweigh them at the post. Here's Flanagan drive. Kick out to Albright. Albright in the lane. Knocked away to Oding. Albright going to launch a 3 ball. No. Ben Weldy with a nice rebound. Here come the Vikings with a chance to tie or take a lead on a 3 ball. Reinert back to Jacob underneath. Tie it up. Beautiful pass from Hebel.
Ball movement's been exceptional here in the last couple minutes for the Vikings.
2:22 to go in the first half. 23-23. Bueller on the drive. Kick it off to Oding. Back to Bueller. They'll reset the offense. Back to Flanagan between the circles. Abel right on top of him. Over to Bueller it goes. Far side wings. 2 minutes remaining. First half. Kick out. Flanagan. Dribble drive. And we're going to have a call on Zach Abel. It'll be 1-1 now for the Kingman Eagles. Flanagan. Second foul on Zach Abel.
Hard to fault good aggressive defense there by Zach Abel to pick up his second foul.
Brumbaugh in for the first time.
On the line, number 0, Keegan Flanagan.
Flanagan at the free throw line with a 1-1. Makes it. Gets the second. Substitution ready to come in for him after he makes, if he makes. And he gets them both. First free throw shot by Flanagan. They are 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. They have a 2-point lead, 25-23. Reinert in the lane. Reinert double team, triple team. Now kicks it out to Schrog. Back to Reinert to reset. Baseline to Cole Brumbaugh. Inside to Jacob Adams. Jacob Adams to Schrog. Kick out to Reinert. Reinert 3 ball. Jump in there with the shooter's touch. I like it. 26-25. Vikings up by 1. A minute 20 to go here. Second quarter. Albright off to Oding. Oding with his feet on the 3-point line. Now off to Albright. Kick out to Bueller. Around to Oding. Around to Hansard. He'll reset with Lane Schrog right over him. Albright. Minute left to go. And an illegal screen on Molitor. No argument from the Kingman coach.
He kind of rolled right through that screen there. And
I don't know how to call or what to look for on a moving screen, but you can't just keep on moving, I guess, the whole time through the screen.
Never quit moving, and almost just a deflection to get to his next spot. So
Reinert to Schrog. Schrog guarded by Flanagan. Over to Winholtz, far side wing, guarded by Bueller. Bueller with his slippery hands. Tries to knock it away. Now over to Adams. Now over to Schrog. Schrog with the baseline drive. Schrog has it knocked away. And it'll be a reach-in foul. Oh, coach getting warned by the officials.
He's been kind of jawing most of the trips up and down the court about something. So,
well, if he's going to say that the other official needs to make that call, he's barking up the wrong tree. Reiner to put it in play for the Vikings. Into Jacob. Back to Nick. Nick on the drive. Into Jacob. Loses the handle momentarily. Now he's triple teamed. And Bueller stepped out of bounds. He was out of bounds and hacked the ball away and got called for being out of bounds. 33 seconds left to go. Weldy in for Winholtz. Weldy and Adams now. The two post players for the Vikings. Inside the bend, turn around, missed it. Rebound, Molitor. Over it goes to Flanagan. Back to Molitor. Kick out to Hansard. Back to Flanagan. Flanagan drive, blocked. Oh! And he gets a foul called on Jacob Adams. That'll be Jacob's first. A lot of ball contact without any arm, but maybe he got the arm on the swipe down.
That's a tough one. Can't say that there wasn't any contact, but
no.
Being Viking fans, we wish would have not have been.
Kingman is perfect from the line. Surely we can jinx him into missing a free throw here.
I would think so.
5 for 5. 3 for 3 for Flanagan here in this quarter. Can't even, perfectly in the middle of the net, too. 27-26, Kingman with a 1-point lead. Vikings have a chance to take the lead here and be the first time all year long they've been in the lead after a half. Weldy with it outside, looking for Reinert. Reinert elevates, shot, no. Rebound, Price. Price to Hansard, and it will end with the Vikings still not having the lead. Smoky Valley trails by 1, 27-26. We'll be back to wrap up this half for you after this timeout.
Don Bingston is your local Farm Bureau Financial Services agent and is proud to be in his 12th year as voice of the Vikings. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes, in all your activities this year. Game day starts and finishes at Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg. Located at 101 North Main, this upscale...
Tonight to Just Hold On. They are Captain Danny Rogers, Captain Peyton Stevenson, Heather Schreiner, Patty Enyard, Taylor Barnes, Carissa Kindlesberger, Elena McMillan, and Carrick Elliott. the baseball team. And now for the pep band, community and alumni. Let's hear it.
7 for Albright and 7 for Bueller. For the Vikings, 2 for Hebel, 3 for Abel, 4 for Adams, 6 for Reinert, and 11 points for Ben Weldy as he did a great job of playing. Time now to look at our in-park performance brought to you by the Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic, offering comprehensive sports medicine care from education to preventing sports injuries to sports performance and preservation and healing of damaged joints through surgery and rehabilitation. Dr. Timothy Hawks and his team of physical therapists, athletic trainers, and physician assistants are dedicated to providing the highest quality of sports medicine care, and our impact performance of the first half would go to Ben Weldy and his 11 points. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, I've got Amanda Bahana that'll join me to talk a little bit about the Vikings game. You're listening to Smoky Valley Basketball. The Viking boys down 27-26 at halftime. Back right after this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. With locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket. Member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
People's Bank and Trust is proud to support the Lindsborg community and the athletes at Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College. I'm Ryan Biegert, branch manager at the Lindsborg location for People's Bank and Trust, a proud native of Lindsborg, and I'm ready to be your banker. People's Bank and Trust, meeting the needs of our community and always improving the way we do business. Located at 201 South Main in Lindsborg, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Vikes and go Swedes.
The Quarterback Club of Lindsborg is proud to support athletics in the Smoky Valley. Join us each Tuesday at 7 a.m. in the Bethany College cafeteria to hear from all the Vikings and Swedes sports coaches.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley. Jim Don Bings along with Amanda Bahana. Congratulations on great effort. We're still looking for win number 1.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take us back to this game. You played well. It was close in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden Kingman, those Banger girls are pretty fast, and they're certainly good basketball players.
Yeah, they're really good. It was hard to keep track of where they were and how they just kept passing the ball inside and everywhere and shooting threes.
Does it make you frustrated when you play good defense and then when they get open, they simply don't miss any shots?
No, they really don't. We just need to work on shooting and rebounding.
But you guys played well. You defended well. You took care of the ball. You had a few turnovers, too many, but you really played well. Let's go back to the last game against Nickerson when Kira and Carrington and everybody got so crazy hot in that fourth quarter. How fun was that playing that last quarter?
That was really fun. Gets excited, and then everybody's just doing well and just pumps everybody up.
You played better in that game. You played better tonight. You had a day off yesterday because of snow. Did you just lay around the house and do nothing all day?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, you got to look forward to the Sterling Invitational Tournament, and obviously you drew the best team in the tournament, Sterling, to have your first game. But do you have goals set for the tournament to win 1 game, win 2 games, maybe win 3 games?
Yeah, I want to win 3 games. I think we just need to work on really pushing the ball down the court and hustling back on defense, and obviously rebounding and getting our shots in.
Well, but you're starting to look for the shots. Everybody's shooting more, and it seems like if you work the ball too long, you get a turnover. So early in the possession, you guys are looking to score a little bit more. Is that something that you as a senior have decided, I got to do a little bit more to score more points?
Yeah, I've just been trying to work on my shooting. And
your defense is outstanding. You get steals, and then I don't know, have you ever timed yourself from the free throw line to the basket? You make that in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I haven't timed myself. Maybe I should.
Well, you're really fast. You really play well. You play hard. And how's school going? You're trying to get good grades in your school. Is school going well?
Yeah, school's going real well. Excited.
What else are you involved in besides basketball?
Track. I'll be doing track again.
Be running track. What's your favorite event in track?
The 100.
The 100?
Yeah.
Have you won some 100 races?
once.
One? Well, that's one more than I have. Of course, I wouldn't be very fast at all running. Well, congratulations on a couple of great games at home here. Good luck this week in the Sterling tournament.
Thank you.
Amanda Bahana, and she is our guest tonight, and she did a great job. Thanks for being here. And we will take our final timeout, a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we will have the tip-off of the second half. The boys are trailing by 26-27. Back after this timeout.
Auburn Pharmacy is your local hometown Lindsborg pharmacy, located at 216 North Harrison Street, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
It's tough out there. Trying to stretch every paycheck a little further than the last one, it means cutting costs, and one of the best places to start is at the State Farm office of Anthony Hopkins in Ellsworth, because he'll do a free discount double check to make sure you're getting the car insurance discounts you deserve. Sometimes those can be up to 40%. So give State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins a call today, because being there to help keep more money in your pocket is why he's there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
A good neighbor, State Farm is there.
People's Bank and Trust takes pride in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Last play of the game, folks.
And the snap. Drops back. Whoa, changes mind. Down the sideline. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Casasa! Unbelievable! Did you see that? Casasa!
Not to be a buzzkill, but what's Casasa? We're glad you asked that. Casasa. It's a catchy word for earning cash. Free Casasa checking rewards you in cash each month.
Ask for Casasa. Offered locally at the Bank of Tesket in Salina, Lincoln, Lindsborg, and Tesket. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym. The Vikings down by 1 here as the third quarter about ready to get underway. We've had some exciting games around the Rockingham Media Network. Central Girls beat Mays 49-45 in overtime. Abilene lost. Clay Center won 60-55 in overtime. So had a couple of overtime games in basketball. And here, the first possession will belong to Kingman. It seems like they've gotten every possession here, and between all the breaks. But we are underway with Kingman leading by 1. And there's a steal. Reinert with it all the way in, and good. Vikings with the first points of the quarter as Kingman turns it over. And Reinert has 8 now. Ben Weldy led the Vikings in the first half with 11. And the Vikings up by 1. Flanagan off to Albright. Vikings man-to-man defense, and there's a jump on the screen. Kingman didn't get called for any of those fouls all game long the first half. Smoky Valley had quite a few fouls. Only person in foul trouble, that's Ben Weldy's second now, but Blake Hebel had 2. Zach Abel had 2 for Smoky Valley. Off it goes to Flanagan. Over it goes to Molitor. Kick out Bueller. Looked at a 3, didn't trigger. Bueller still on the dribble drive. Off it goes to Flanagan near the top. Now to Albright right in front of the Kingman bench. Guarded by Adams. And too strong a pass. Back-to-back turnovers. Only the 6. I had Kingman for 4 turnovers is all in that first half, and I had the Vikings for only 2. And a quick timeout by Coach Lawson of the Kingman Eagles. It's a 30. We'll keep it right here. Again, thanking our sponsors, Harry Malari, Viking Auto, R&R Excavating, Scott's. Contact Mari Loader for your Smoky Valley real estate needs. Dr. Darrell Loader, Smoky Valley Chiropractic. Gallant Tire and Auto. Lindsberg Family Dental, Dower Welding, C&L Heating and Cooling, Arn Reinert CPA, Art Shirt, Bank of Tesket, and People's Bank and Trust. You gave a shout out to Chris Allen and Asher Allen on the way to wrestling. We got to give a shout out to my grandson, your nephew, Rory Binkson, 8-0 on wrestling this year so far. What's the deal with that?
Oh, it's been kind of fun to watch. Like the little guys, wrestling's a new sport to the Bingston family, but sure, a lot of fun to watch those little guys go at it and grapple on the mats.
Inside to Weldy, he finally missed a shot on the blocks. Weldy got a good pass from Jacob Adams, but he missed. Vikings still up by 1. Albright kick out to Bueller. Inside it goes. Missing rebound. Jacob Adams. The Vikings get a good defensive rebound there. Here's Zach Abel. Adams can't hang on to it. Crashed into Bueller underneath. And the Vikings with their 3rd turnover. Pass inside, or shot inside, missed. Here come the Vikings, 4-on-3 break. Reinert spin move. Gives it off to Adams. Adams gets to get out of the lane and does. Reinert with it on the dribble out top. Penetration. Kick out to Hebel. Hebel, Abel, Adams, Weldy, and Reinert, the starting 5 on the court for the Vikings. Same way with Kingman. No, they started Flanagan instead of Hansard. Hebel off to Weldy. Weldy on the dribble off to Abel. A little weave action out top. Now back to Weldy. Top of the key. All the way to the wing. Off to Reinert. 3-point shot. Nick. Swish!
What a sweet tickle of the net there.
3-point Arn Reinert CPA 3-pointer. Vikings, I think, with their biggest lead of the night. 31-27. And there's a basket inside. Zach Abel with his hands straight up that the official called a foul, and that's going to be Zach's 3rd. Albright with the basket. If he makes his free throw, he'll be the first Kingman Eagle in double figures.
$1 hot dogs and $1 slices of pizza. Last call. Call the box down at the other end.
29 for the for Kingman, now 30. They have not missed a free throw yet. 7 for 7. Vikings haven't shot a free throw yet. They're perfect as well. Reinert now with the 1-point lead and the basketball. Off it goes to Hebel. To Lane Schrog, who checked in for Abel after he picked up his 3rd foul. Off to Adams. Around it goes to Weldy. He's going to launch a 3-ball. That's off. Rebound inside. Hebel go up strong, Blake, and he does. Missing. Jacob Adams trying to get the rebound. Kingman comes away with it. Albright on the dribble. Albright into the lane. Missing. Rebound, Jacob Adams. Wow. It is rough and rugged out there tonight. Reinert wanted a trigger. Didn't. Goes inside to Jacob instead. And one. Vikings will get a chance for their first free throw. Jacob Adams, one of the Vikings' best free throwers at 79%.
What a good look by Nick Reinert there to get Adams the ball with the guy on his hip.
Bueller's first foul. Only had 2 in the first half. Adams' free throw, it gets really quiet when the Vikings are shooting free throws, and he missed.
30. Put the announcer jinx on them, not us.
No, I can't jinx them at all. One of our best free throws, I jinxed him right away. 33-30, Vikings by 3. Albright with the ball on the dribble drive. No, rebound, hustling for it, and Jacob Adams with great position. I think it's going to be Oding over the back. That'll be his 2nd foul. Brumbaugh and Hebel out. The 3-point shooter and Cole Brumbaugh. One of the Vikings' best 3-point shooters in 4 for 9, 44%. Reinert on the dribble. Over the back, Oding knocks it away from Weldy. Wow, they don't call any of those over the backs, and Lane Schrog gets called for the foul, trying to steal it away from Oding after he got it away from the Vikings. 3rd team foul on the Vikings of the half. 2 for Kingman. Albright off to Oding. Oding looking for Price, not there. Oding still with it, almost a steal by Nick. Baseline, Flanagan, 3, good. Wow. His first 3-pointer. And they tie it up at 33 all. Here's Weldy. It's a 2. Yep. Ben Weldy with his 13th point. 3:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Albright. Flanagan just made a 3 a moment ago. Near side, Bueller, he's going to launch a 3. It's good. Incredibly good shooting team.
Nets are burning tonight.
My goodness. That's his second 3 of the night. He's got 10 points on the night also. He's got 2 free throws, a 2 and 2 threes for his night's work on the offensive end. Reinert out top with it. Flanagan close to him, not putting much pressure on him. Weldy, cross court to Brumbaugh, cross to Reinert, and behind. Jacob Adams gets hit from behind, and Price will get whistled for the foul. His first, team third. Winholtz in, Schrag out. Vikings trail by 1, 36-35. Reinert in to Winholtz, gets double teamed, and we're going to call a jump ball on alternating possession. It'll stay with Smoky Valley. Can't hardly call a foul when everybody's going for the ball, but it's just melee out there when they start going for the ball.
Yeah, it's lots and lots of hustle on both sides going after balls and cuts and everything.
And Jacob Adams getting pushed and bodied around. Gets called for the travel. 4th turnover for the Vikings, second of this half. 2:59 left to go, third quarter. Vikings trail by 1. Had a 4-point lead a little while ago, and then a 3-pointer and a couple of free throws gives Kingman a lead. Or an and 1. 2-pointer and an and 1. Bueller with it right in front of the Kingman bench. Baseline, Albright 3. Another 3. Albright knocks down his second 3 of the night.
Got to cool them off somehow.
He's got 13 points, 39-35. Wow, how can that not be a foul? All that body contact out there. I can't believe Nick didn't go back court. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Nick as he drives in. Nick pleading his case a little bit about the contact at half court, but man. 2:12 left to go, third quarter, 39-35. Kingman on the strength of 3 3-pointers from beyond the arc have taken a 4-point lead. Albright across the half-court line slowly. 3-2 drop zone for the Vikings. Bueller and Albright playing catch out top. Baseline it goes Flanagan. Flanagan back to Albright. Cross court to Bueller. Baseline to Odin. Kick out to Albright and threw it away. The best defense is the Vikings to slow them down and make them pass the ball. They've had 3 turnovers in this quarter.
Yeah, we like those turnovers. Maybe we can get a stop on a defensive end like that, get a bucket, and see if we can't come back with the lead.
We got to quit dribbling the ball so much. We got to pass the ball a little bit more. Reinert, 3-pointer, swish. Arn Reinert, CPA, 3-pointer by Nick. Closes the gap to 1, 39-38. Smoky Valley trails by 1. Nick Kingman with the ball. Flanagan out top. Bueller. Oh, Reinert went for a steal, and Bueller just about passed it to him, but the last minute thought better of the pass. Now back to Flanagan. Minute 8, minute 7, minute 6 left to go. Third quarter, 1-point lead for Kingman. They also have the ball. Round it goes to Bueller. Baseline to Albright in the middle. Odin. Kick out Flanagan. Good dribble, penetration, kick out Bueller, cross court, Albright, inside Price, good. Wow, great ball movement there by Kingman.
So if we get it stopped there and the points on this end to
Reinert, another 3 missing. Rebound, Winholtz had it momentarily, but got away from him, and Flanagan ends up with it. Guarded by Winholtz. Gets it across the timeline with a few seconds to spare. 41-38, Kingman by 3. Flanagan with Winholtz right on top of him. Bueller around to Albright. 16 seconds left to go. Price, kick out. Flanagan, 3. Another 3. Flanagan nails it for a 6-point lead. Reinert better hurry. They only got a few seconds left. Reinert still on the dribble. And Reinert was not aware of where the clock was, and the Vikings let the horn go off. They trail after 3 quarters, 44-38. Back for an exciting 4th quarter right after this.
Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
Valley Gym as the cheerleaders and both teams out there as the community band just playing away out there. We mentioned Mark Lucas is in the band. You said Mike Dreyer is in the band.
Tom Holmquist was up there, I saw.
Holmquist in the band. The DeLiesel, both Mr. and Mrs. DeLiesel. Doug Malm. Bill Olson was up there.
Tayden Tubbs was on drums, said earlier.
Yeah, it's a nice group. And another possession to start the quarter for Kingman. They've had it every single one, which is fine, but that's the way the ball bounces. Here's Price on the dribble drive. Blocked by Weldy, but a foul. And Ben Weldy will have his 3rd foul. Price will be at the free throw line. Not a starter. So Price at the free throw line. See what kind of a free thrower he is. Surely he can break the jinx, and he did.
There we go.
Thank goodness. Kingman up by 6, 44-38 to start this 4th quarter. Vikings have to put together another 4th quarter rally. Second Price free throw, got that one to go. 45-38. First possession. Vikings, Abel brings it up across the timeline. Screen from Reinhardt. Here's a 3-pointer. Nick, good. Nick Reinhardt starting to heat up from beyond the arc. And Arn Reinhardt CPA 3-pointer. 45-41.
We'd take a few more of those.
Well, he can get on a streak and make him. Odin with it out top, looking for Albright. Flanagan outside to Bueller. Bueller drive in the lane. And we better go the other way. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Blake Hebel did not move. And they've been pretty consistent calling the charges, but this time it goes the other way. Bueller made 2 free throws in the 2nd quarter. He's got 10. Surely we can jinx him into missing another one. Nope. Right in there.
The difference in this ball game is free throw percentage at this point in time, it appears.
Free throws, period. We have only shot 1 and missed it. And there's the second one being missed. And Price knocks it out of the hands of Weldy. They were 7 of 7 through 3 quarters, and then they're 2 of 4 now in this quarter so far. 46-41. Vikings trail by 5 with the basketball. Nick across the timeline into the front court. Flanagan guarding him. Trying to find out where they're going. They go to Schrag right by the Viking bench. Bueller all over him. Schrag in the lane. Kick out to Abel. Abel baseline drive. Albright guarding him off to Reinhardt. Reinhardt. Flanagan guarding him into Ben. Ben Weldy turn around side of the lane. Too strong. Rebound Bueller. Here comes Kingman. Albright on the dribble. Albright between his legs. Albright still on the dribble. Albright into the lane. Up and good. Albright. First bucket. First 2-point bucket of the half. He has a 3 and a free throw and 1. But the Kingman Eagles are up 48-41. Here's Schrag, and he's going to get slapped on the drive out of bounds. It'll be Viking basketball. 48-41. 6:17 to go. Hebel, Weldy, Adams, Reinert, and Abel on the court for Smoky Valley. Back Abel gets it into Reinert. Three-pointer, Nick. No. Rebound, Jacob Adams. Kick over to Reinert. Stolen by Flanagan. Flanagan. Molitor. And going to have a blocking foul on Jacob Adams. That'll be his second foul. Flanagan gets the basket, and he'll have an and one. They have a chance to go up by 10 points.
That's another tough call on the block charge there.
And they've all gone Kingman's way. They've had every 50-50 call has gone their way. The 7th team foul on the Vikings. And Flanagan finishes off the three-point shot. Vikings down by 10, 41-51. See what they can do for a rally. And there's a throwaway for Zach Abel. He was thinking Weldy was going to turn around and go to the basket, and instead he came out to the outside. So the Vikings at a critical moment have a big turnover. They need to get this thing put together here. Around it goes to Price. Price over to Bueller. Bueller looking, guarded by Hebel. Bueller on the dribble out to Flanagan. Flanagan drive, kick off. Still on the dribble drive. Still on the dribble drive. Baseline double team. And what was that?
5-second call.
Oh, a 5-second turnover. He was dribbling. Nick was right on top of him. I didn't see him even counting, so I didn't think he'd started the 5-second count. So good defense by the Vikings. Reinert out top on the dribble. Needed somebody to move somewhere. Goes to Abel, knocked away by Albright. Little testy there between those two. He wanted to help Abel up, and Abel wouldn't take his hand. Right in front of the student section. Get it into Abel, back to Hebel. They'll reset the offense. Trailing by 10 here. Reinert with it, with the screen from Blake. Reinert off to Hebel, and he can't handle the pass. Back-to-back turnovers by the Vikings. Flanagan across the timeline. 3 and 5 on the year against the 5 and 3 Vikings. Vikings have yet to lose at home, but Kingman putting some pressure on the Vikings, and now Coach Lawson wants a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 4:51 left to go in this ball game. Kingman on top, 51-41. Back right after this.
Direct Access Physical Therapy is available at Lindsborg Community Hospital. Direct Access means you can schedule an appointment for PT without a doctor's order.
Listen to the pep band instead of fighting with them. How did the McPherson girls do?
They won 50-46.
An upset in the making. Andale beat McPherson at McPherson last year. Andale leading down at Andale. There's an inbound play and a block by Weldy. So good, what looked like a promising play for Kingman on the inbound play. Vikings defend it well and get the ball back. Now they got to start scoring points. Reinert on the defense, with defense around him. Back from Weldy. They'll reset the offense. 4.5 minutes left to go. Here's Nick, bounced around like a pinball going in for the drive, but got it to go. Vikings cut it to 8, 51-43, and they're going to get a couple of turnovers here. Haven't put much of a press on the Kingman. Around it goes to Flanagan. Flanagan dribble drive. Flanagan. And Jacob needed to step up and cut that one off. He had a chance to take a charge there. Here's Reinert, 3. It's good. Arn Reinert, CPA three-pointer. Nick's sixth three-pointer of the night. 46-53. Here's Odin. Off to Flanagan. He gets another layup. And a Kingman timeout, a full timeout. We'll step aside as well. 3:42 left to go. Kingman up by 9, 55-46. Back right after this.
Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings!
Fouls on number 10, Tanner Albright, his first, team fifth, on the line. Number 3, Nick Reiner. In the game for the Vikings, number 10, Lane Shrub. 30-second timeout called by Smoky Valley.
This is a good game.
Smoky Valley boys and girls have this thrilling tournament next week. First round for the boys is at 7:30 in Sterling. They play Southeast Saline. The girls will play on Tuesday at 4:30 against Sterling.
Let's go, boys!
Wrestling play is tomorrow at Clearwater.
Are we on?
Keep talking.
Reinert with the ball. Reinert three-pointer. No. Rebound. Kingman. And a foul. Lane Shaw gets whistled for the...
Foul on number 10, Lane Schraub. That's his second, team 8. On the line is number 10, Tanner Albright.
Substitution Weldy in. Lane's second foul of the quarter. 3:09 we are now. And the free throw by Albright is good.
We'd take a miss here.
Yeah, we need one. 48-56. Vikings trail by 8. And he snuck it in. Up by 9. 3:09 left to go in the ball game. Zach Abel letting the ball roll up to half court. Flanagan on top of him. Here's Weldy. He's going to launch a 3 ball. No. Rebound Flanagan. Reinert chasing him. Flanagan into the lane. Flanagan with the dribble. He brings it back outside the 3-point arc. Flanagan off to Price. Loses the handle but gets it back to Odin. Baseline Bueller. Around it goes to Albright, to Odin, to Albright. Playing catch way outside. Vikings going to have to go man-to-man to trap him. Around it goes Albright. Wanted to trigger a 3 but didn't. Oh, Bueller looked like he was going to trigger. 2.5 minutes now left to go. Vikings in trouble here at home. Undefeated at home on the year. They need some major work to happen here in their favor. Kingman willing to just run clock and going between the ball. There goes a steal. Reinert in and foul. And Reinert will have 2 free throws coming up. Little questionable by the Albright. Got a little stare from the official again.
There's been a few players on each team reacting to some calls that I'm kind of surprised at.
Reinert good on the free throw. The Vikings got what they needed, a turnover, but it took them almost 40 seconds to get it. And Reinert makes both free throws. Winholtz and Hebel in, Adams and Weldy out. Get their defensive unit on there to try to get some turnovers. Bueller will put it in play, gets it into Price, back to Bueller. Bueller still trapped, now he gets out of it. Albright with the layup, good, and 1. They see the court well and they pass the ball. That's Zach Abel's 4th foul.
They had the trap coming on the far end of the court, and the offense to turn the right way to get out of it, and ended in a layup.
Yeah, those 50-50 things that, whether it's going to work or not going to work, every single time Kingman has come up with the right play at the right time. Been incredible tonight. 60-50.
Seems like every loose ball has ended up in their lap off a deflection, and that's not quite so for the Vikings.
There's a tip out by Albright. Stays with the Vikings with 1:55 left to go now, under 2 minutes to go. Vikings have to hit everything they throw up there. They got to throw them up quickly. Winholtz gets it, looking for Adams. Instead goes to Weldy. Weldy, you need to have that. Go ahead and hit that 3. And there's an and 1. Well, we'll take that. Ben Weldy has just 1 field goal in the second half. He had 11 first half points, but only 1 until that one. That'll be 4 on number 5, Odin.
For the Vikings, number 23, Blake Keeble.
Blake Keeble's got to get in the right spot on the free throw line. Now Flanagan will join in as well. 1:48 to go, 52-60. Get the Vikings to within 7 if Weldy makes a free throw, and he does. Well, the Vikings are a perfect 5 of 5 from the charity stripe in this quarter. But Kingman also doing a good job. They have missed a couple. And they can get, Winholtz got the tip, but it went right to, like you say, right to Kingman on the deflection. Albright in the backcourt with it still. And the ball's loose on the floor. Vikings come up with it. Winholtz to Reinert. 3 ball, no. Rebound, Lane Schrog off to Abel. Back to Reinert. 1:30 left to go. Reinert on the dribble drive. No, doesn't get the roll. Odin with the rebound. And alternating possession tied up. It is rugged in there. Wow.
And for the Vikings, number 24.
Adams and Weldy back in. Winholtz and Hebel doing a good job in the defensive set. 53-60, 7-point Kingman lead. 1:20 left to go. Abel gets it into Reinert. Reinert on the dribble drive. Reinert off to Abel. Back to Schrog. Schrog in the lane. Kick out to Reinert. Nick Reinert. Kick out to Weldy. Three-pointer bend. No. Rebound Bueller. And knocked away, and a reach-in foul on Nick Reinert. It'll be Kingman basketball. They'll have 2 free throws now, as that's the 10th team foul on the Vikings.
Well, we've had everything we wanted. Some nice-looking shots and some good opportunities at baskets. We just can't find the bottom of the net.
Can't get them when we
catch
need
that
them.
break to get in that 5-point distance.
Bueller 1 of 2 in this quarter so far. And he rims out. They got a feel of getting a little tight here. Trying to extend their lead a little bit. Vikings still within striking distance of 3 possessions. He makes the second. There's your target to foul. He's 2 of 4 now in this half. Zach Abel still with the ball. It collides with Reinert. Schrog off to Reinert. 3-ball. Nick in there. And the Vikings call a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 49 seconds left to go. Vikings trail 61-56. Back right after this.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from across the country have in common? They all purchase custom-etched glassware at glassdecorators.com. Emsloy glassdecorators.com have been providing carefully etched glass for nearly 30 years. Supporting Smoky Valley 1984.
Here and come up with some kind of a play. Bueller will put it in. Carson Winholtz right on top of him. Still looking, gets it into Flanagan. He gets double teamed. Winholtz gets clobbered in the chops with the elbow. Flanagan flailing away with his trying to protect the ball. That's nothing unusual. Schrog gets whistled for the foul, his third. Now Flanagan has to miss. He hasn't missed. He's 5 for 5 on the night.
We would take 1 or 2.
Only 1 in this quarter has he shot, but he made it on an and 1 play. And he is absolutely lights out free throwing. 56-62. He needs to miss this one to keep it at a 2-possession game. But he moves it in. Nine of 12 in this quarter is Kingman from the line. Down by 7 still. Here comes Abel with it. Off it goes to Reinert. Reinert, and that's the first time they've called that foul on Kingman all night long, bodying up the Vikings. Albright will pick up his second foul. Nick will be back at the free throw line to shoot 2 more. Actually, it's a 1-and-1. Winholtz and Hebel in. Weldy and Adams out. Odin is checked in for Kingman. 36.4 seconds remaining. Reinert free throw, good. 6-point ball game, 57-63. And he gets them both. They got to get a stop now, got to get a turnover.
Now, one turnover would be great here. Put you right in the driver's seat.
Bueller runs the baseline, gets it into Albright. Quickly up to Price. Can't even, they're looking for a foul there. I don't think Price would be the one they wanted to foul. Blake Hebel should have made sure he fouled him. But instead they get Bueller at the foul line. But that's the one who I said earlier you want to foul. He's only 2 of 4 in this quarter.
On the line, shooting 2, number 31, Logan Bueller.
It's a second foul on Carson Winholtz. .8 seconds remaining. And he cashes it in. Second Bueller free throw coming up. 58-64. And he lets that one rattle in. When he needs him, he gets him.
Hits the rim 3 times and finds a way to fall in the middle.
7-point deficit for the Vikings. Abel gets it up into the front court quickly. Looking for a cutting Nick Reiner and knocked out of bounds by Flanagan. That's good because it takes time off the clock for Kingman. Not good for the Vikings because they need to get their offense set up. Off to Jacob Adams, off to Zach Abel. Back to Weldy. Cole Brumbaugh, here's a 3 by Weldy. No, rebound Cole Brumbaugh. Out to Abel, 3, no, rebound Oding. And finally a foul on Smoky Valley. With 9.6 seconds to go. The Vikings have run out of time. And we're going to suffer their first defeat here at home. To the hands of Kingman Eagles. Odin missed the free throw.
I'm sure they missed now.
Yeah.
Where was that all game?
He hasn't shot a free throw all game. Missed them both. Here come the Vikings quickly the other way. Abel. Brumbaugh, 3. Cole, swish. Cole Brumbaugh's first points of the ball game, and Arn Reinert CPA three-pointer 61-65, but with only 2.6 seconds left to go. It will be too little, too late, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the Vikings have played pretty well tonight overall. They just, Kingman seemed to get a lot of the breaks. The ball seemed to end up in their lap more times than not, and made a lot of free throws, and just a little bit short, but I commend their effort and the way they played tonight. I think if they can keep that up next week, they'll be successful in a couple of their games for sure.
Unofficially 31 points for Nick Reiner, but he would take 3 points and trade it for a win, no question about that. Bueller has to get it in basically, and with only 2.6 seconds left to go. And he gets it into Odin, and he'll be fouled with 1/10 of a second left to go. And Odin, who missed 2 free throws a moment ago, will have 2 more.
Number 23, Blake Eagle, his 4th. On the line, number 5, Carter Odin.
Mr. Creer, a slow whistle would have been okay.
Yeah. And he makes the first of these 2. 66-61. And he makes them both. That's it. Our final from Smoky Valley Gym. Kingman wins it 67-61. We'll be back to wrap this one up for you after this timeout.
Bethany College Swedes succeed. Bethany students lead lives of faith, learning, and service as they find their own pathways on Bethany's beautiful campus that's filled with opportunities to get involved with art, music, theater, athletics, service learning, sustainability, leadership, global citizenship, and more. Swedes succeed in their careers and their communities. Learn more at www.bethanylb.edu.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins, 785-472-4426 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Game day starts and finishes at Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg. Located at 101 North Main, this upscale, one-of-a-kind establishment offers a wide variety of drink and food specials. Come try their jalapeno poppers, coconut chicken tenders, or their classic Monte Cristo. Then wash it down with an ice-cold beer or a tall glass of wine. Farley's Bar and Grill at the corner of Lincoln and Main in downtown Lindsborg. Farley's, your game day headquarters for the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
This is the Smoky Valley Vikings postgame show. Coming up, the Salina Ortho Player of the Game, scores from around the area, final stats, and an interview with the coach. This is Smoky Valley Vikings basketball on 95.5 The Rock.
Welcome back to Smoky Valley Gym. Don Binks along with Brian Binkson. We got Jared Bass doing a great job for us tonight, but the Vikings fall 67-61 to the Kingman Eagles by both teams scoring 23 points in the final quarter. Vikings just couldn't get the steal they needed, the points they needed, and even though they scored a lot of points, it just really comes down to a defensive stop or two that they needed, a turnover that they needed, and they just couldn't get her done tonight.
Yeah, just come up a little bit short, but really played pretty well. I didn't think they shot the ball bad. I didn't think, I thought they rebounded the ball well. They moved the ball well on the offensive side of the court. Played good defense. It just happened to come down to they made some shots and ended up shooting a lot of free throws and making a vast majority.
Yeah, they got that little run there early fourth quarter, and just Vikings could never recover from it, and they go on to win by the score of 67-61. Scoring 3 points for Price, 3 points for Hansard, 6 points for Oding, and then in double figures, 14 points for Burley, 20 points for Albright, and 21 points for Flanagan. A three-headed monster was just too much for the Vikings. They were really, really active on the court, both defensively and offensively, and they just simply had a really, really good night.
They did. They have their three guards to start, obviously in double figures there, played very well. Defensively, they gave the Vikings everything they needed. Reinert was able to get some points, but they kind of shut the other guys down other than some transition. And so we saw that a lot of that in the second quarter, but we never could find that after we kind of went on that run there. And that hats off to Kingman for their defense. They had several deep subs to come in and pressure the Vikings, and unfortunately Vikings come up a little bit short, but very proud of the way they played, and if they can carry some of the momentum and intensity into next week, they're going to like what they do.
2 points for Blake Hebel, 3 points for Cole Brumbaugh, 3 points for Zach Abel, an early three. Pardon me. Jacob Adams was 6, and then in double figures, Ben Weldy, 16 points, and Nick Reinert, 31 points for the Vikings. Kingman was 13 of 18 from the charity stripe in that fourth quarter. I would have thought they would have hit more than that because it didn't seem like they ever missed, but they made them when they needed them, and then finally Odin at the end missed 2. He made 2 unimportant ones at the end, but the Vikings fall tonight by the score of 67-61. We'll hear from Coach Snyder here momentarily, but the Vikings now have not much time to recoup and get ready as they got to go on the road to the Sterling Invitational and play a Southeast of Saline team, and maybe they can get that monkey off their back. They haven't won yet on the road. They hadn't lost at home. Now they lost at home. They'll turn the tables and get that first road victory on Monday night at the Sterling Invitational Tournament.
Yeah, sometimes it's not a bad idea to have a quick turnaround. I think the way they played tonight, if they can do that, they get another 16 points out of Ben Weldy and get a lot of points out of Nick Reinert again. Nick ran a good offense tonight, was the captain of the ship, and you can tell that he has spent a lot of time with that. And if they can carry that in, if we can get Nick some points and keep him hot from the perimeter, the Vikings will like what they have next week when they take on the Trojans the southeast of Saline.
Updating some scores from around the area. Can you check on that McPherson score?
It was tied 24-24 after 3 quarters, which, watching a couple of the McPherson games so far this year, that's pretty incredible to keep McPherson to 24 points. And you know the athletes that both of those teams have. It's going to be a defensive struggle, and we'll see what happens coming down to the fourth quarter. It ought to be interesting.
That's at Andale, right?
Correct.
They beat them last year at McPherson, so that was kind of the wake-up call that they got last year when they lost that game at home, and then they ended up coming back. After 3 quarters, Beloit is on top of Minneapolis 43-35. We'll get some other scores to you as Coach Doug Snyder on the way out to join us for his thoughts on tonight's game, as they probably won't be real good, as they are certainly suffering their first defeat at the hands of the Kingman Eagles. And it was one of those nights where Kingman just seemed like they couldn't do anything wrong. Brian and I were talking about those any 50-50 ball that had a chance to go either way went to Kingman, and they were playing pressure defense. This refereeing crew, you don't ever want to blame a game on the refereeing crew, but boy, they were letting them play hard and play through a lot of contact, and the Vikings just couldn't get a break or two in the fourth quarter that they needed.
Yeah, it was a physical game, but a game we needed to make sure we adjusted to. I thought they adjusted better to it, and it better suited them for some of the things that they wanted to be able to do, especially with their quickness. You and I talked about that before the game. We're not very good defensively right now. I think our heart's in it. I just don't think we're getting to the right places at the right times, and it's been evident now for 2 games in a row. I mean, I don't know if our stats are right, but they have them shooting 60% overall, 54% from 2 and 77% from 3, and they get 26 attempts at the line, and I think we end up getting 9.
Because Nick got some there at the end. He was 6 for 6 in that fourth quarter. But yeah, we were absent from the free throw line. We just didn't. They didn't call any fouls on them.
No, and like I said, we're not. Aside from Nick, we're not attacking the rim very much. I thought the first half we did a nice job getting the ball to our posts. I thought we went away from them a little quickly. When we got down 10, I thought we settled for some threes at that point. And they were pressure threes, but I thought, like I said early on, I thought we got some great efforts inside from Ben. I thought Jacob did some nice things in there as well. I don't think Jacob scored as many in there, but he didn't get as many looks, if I remember correctly. It seemed like he got early looks and didn't really get anything the rest of the night. So, it's just one of those. We got to find ourselves, and that's it's all of us. It's not just the players. It's not just the coaches and things like that. We've all got to find what we can do. This is a team that I don't even know if they've scored 65 points all year in a game, and we gave up 65. And I know we had to foul down the stretch, but they were still nearing that number without us doing that. And we get a couple of big buckets down here and cut into the lead twice, and we give up layups on the other end in our press. And, you can't do that. We've got to either get a foul early, or we've got to make sure our deep guy stays deep and doesn't get beat. And there's just, we talked in the locker room afterwards about every year you've got to find that turning point where you realize who you are and what you need to be able to do. And I think we came into this season, I know all of us came into this season looking at it going, hey, this is a really great opportunity to do some amazing things. And, what we've done in the last 2 years, let's build off of that. But, our team has changed a little bit since Brett's been out and since we brought new guys in and different things like that. And so I think we've got I don't want to say there's a sense of urgency, but I think we've got to make sure we're doing some things differently each night to make ourselves better and find out what those things are that are our niches right now. I don't think we believe in enough of our stuff. And like I said, great efforts from people. I think Nick had 31 tonight, and then like I said, I think Ben maybe had 16.
Yep, that's what I had.
But once we kind of get past a few guys, then we don't have a lot of scoring from that point. And it's nice to see some of those things. And like I said, I think we missed some things otherwise too. But it was a tough night. Like I said, tough to lose one at home, tough to lose one to a team that was struggling in the league a little bit. But so are we. We're struggling right now a little bit, and we've got to find ourselves. And we're not done by any means. We're going to come back out and get ready to go after it again on Monday. And we don't have a lot of time to hang our heads. We got to come back out and respond and be ready to play. But we've got to figure ourselves out really fast here.
Sometimes that's not necessarily a bad thing to get right back on get thrown off a horse when you're horseback riding. You got to get right back on and go again. So you get thrown off of the game tonight, you get to go right back in, and maybe you have a little shoot-around time on Sunday, but it'll be time to look at things. And it's not like you know a whole lot about Southeast of Saline. You've seen them, you've played them here at home, and they're a good shooting team too. We just have to come out and execute Monday.
Yeah, good shooting team, good driving team. They try to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim hard. A lot of what we've seen the last few times we've been out. And so, like I said, just got to do some things that'll get us over the hump and get us to playing a little bit more spirited ball. I mean, there were so many times tonight it felt like the momentum was going to swing in our direction, and then things would go against us. So we've got to figure out a way to get that momentum back and keep Mo on our side more often than not. So, like I said, we'll learn that, and we'll get better at it, and we'll go from there.
We'll see you Monday.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Doug Snyder of the Vikings, and the Vikings fall in a tough one, 67-61. The girls also, they weren't expected to win against the highly ranked Kingman Eagles. They drop it 57-31. Well, that'll wrap it up. Again, we'll be on the air Monday night at the Sterling Invitational against Southeast of Saline. Game time 7:30. We'll be on about 7:15 with that game for you. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Bethany at Bethel. They start the second half of their season. They play everybody twice, so they long season that they've got to go with, and they've got a road trip coming up at Bethel on Friday night. James Wesleyan will have that call for you, and then we'll be back on the air right away on Monday. Girls on Tuesday, so then we'll have a Bethany game on Wednesday, and then back to the Smoky Valley on Thursday and Friday. So it'll be a lot of games to take care of, and we'll be there for all of them. Again, our finals tonight, the girls losing 57-31, the boys dropping it 67-61 here at home. For Jared back at the station, for Brian, my color commentator, this is Don Binkson wishing everybody a very pleasant good night. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from